It is Thursday, January 1st, 2015. Happy New Year, and welcome everyone to episode 17 of the OG Cast, your clan broadcast for the original Guardians. My name is Mike. You can find me on Xbox Live. I am mikerocksmore. It is the new year, so got a little reduced cast this week. Just me and Franz. Happy New Year, buddy. How's it going?
Hey, Happy New Year to you too, Mike, and everybody out there. Yeah, it's good. Recovering from last night. Things got a little crazy. Bringing in the new year. So it's been a pretty lazy day, I'll say that.
I can imagine. Probably that's sentiment across America today. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's dive right into it. Just have a little shorter cast this week. Let's get to the news, and only just really a couple things to talk about, I guess, this week. And of course, the big one, I guess, over the last week was the big attack on Xbox and PlayStation over Christmas. Getting some news in a little bit. Apparently, one of the hackers has been allegedly arrested in London.
Yeah, I saw that. It's frustrating. Ruining it for, kids who just open up their new PlayStation or Xbox and they can't log in. I don't even know if somebody who just got their Xbox was able to play, because it needs like a day one update, doesn't it?
I believe so, yeah. So
yeah,
I think everyone on PlayStation and Xbox who got a new system couldn't do anything on Christmas Day, which really sucks, because you got to think, how many hundreds, if not thousands, of people got new consoles for Christmas and couldn't play it. Even if they just had some single-player games, they couldn't play. So that's really unfortunate. And the reasoning behind it, I guess there's two things. The short answer is because they can.
Mm-hmm.
The long answer, it gets even more ridiculous. It's because they wanted to prove to Xbox and to Sony that their networks are vulnerable, so they need to do more for us, the gamers, to protect us from these attacks. So
yeah,
they did it for us, pretty much, which is fantastic of them.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap. They did it for the publicity, and I mean, they wouldn't have to have a strong firewall around it if it wasn't hackers like them trying to bring it down.
Yeah.
I think it's pointless, and it ruined a lot of people's Christmas. Who was looking forward to doing that and got their new system. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm glad one of them got caught.
Yeah. Well, it's probably only a matter of time before the rest of them will hopefully get brought to justice. I guess a big hacker group, Anonymous, has gotten involved now, and they've started releasing some of these guys' names and emails and all that. So we'll have to see if anything else pans out from this. And let's not kid ourselves. What they did was illegal.
Oh yeah, I found that actually funny that another hacker group hacked into them, got their information, and released it to the public. That's funny.
I guess there is honor among thieves after all. So.
I guess don't mess with Christmas. Is that the message there?
I can't think of a better one.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's just certain things you don't mess with, and in Christmas, yeah, you don't mess with that. So
sacred holiday, come on.
Exactly. But yeah, I was pretty lucky. I didn't. I was out of town, so I didn't. It didn't affect me any. But I saw all the news and people complaining about it on Twitter all day long, and even PlayStation was down for an extra day afterwards too.
Yeah.
Which just throws more salt in the wound there. So.
I think it was down for more than an extra day, but I read that Sony's given everybody 5 additional days on their PSN subscription. Make up for it, which is nice.
Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah. So, well, I guess we'll have to see if these sort of things continue, and they are giving stuff to us. So Xur stayed an extra couple days in the tower, because we couldn't log on. So
Yeah, I played some single player games that I've been neglecting for a while.
yeah.
But, glad it's back
Yeah,
up
just,
now.
yeah, it's back up now. And truth be told, it has been a little glitchy. At least for me, I've noticed my friends list has gone down, a couple times, since Christmas, and whether that's just residual or them just refining things, I don't know. But things haven't been perfect since everything came back online. So,
Yeah, and I noticed a few weird things like that too. Hopefully it's them trying to buff their security, right? And it's causing a little fallout damage.
yeah, time will tell. But yeah, it still sucks regardless. So if you were unable to play over Christmas, we feel your pain.
Oh yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to some happier news here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk some Halo. And we actually have some good news to talk about. Well, at least sort of. The Halo 5 beta came out on Monday. I've played it a little bit. I'm quite enjoying it. You and I have actually played the other day as well. So why don't you run down your thoughts on it real quick here?
I enjoyed it immensely. I thought it was. I mean, there's bugs with the matchmaking. I don't know if it's to be expected or it's just 343's MO these days. But the game itself is actually really fun. It sticks to. It removes a lot of the complaints that people had on Halo 4 that kind of just formed too much to the Call of Duty crowd, and kind of went back to Halo's roots while still, you know, still making the Call of Duty crowd happy and trying to draw them in, but it's still being a typical arena shooter, which I liked.
Mm-hmm.
How'd
Well,
you
I
feel
agree.
about it? Yeah.
I agree. Like, I don't have a huge Halo background, but like, I definitely enjoyed the gameplay, and coming from more of a Call of Duty background myself, it is a lot easier to get into it. Like, the controls on Halo 4, which was the first Halo game I played, were vastly different from what I was used to, and so having the controls be a lot more similar to your quote unquote standard FPS layout these days, which of course you have to talk about Call of Duty in that breath. A lot of people aren't liking it though. Like, you get your hardcore Halo crowd that is dead set against anything but status quo, it seems.
Yeah, but games got to evolve. You can't keep the same formula from what 10 years ago and expect it to still adhere to the newer generation. Um,
I agree
and,
completely with that.
and I think they did a good job of molding the two. Like with the ADS function, they have it in there, but if you get hit, you go out of it, which is typical Halo style. Yeah, it's on the left. You can put it on the left trigger, which is Call of Duty style. Um, I guess the biggest controversy was the run function.
Yeah.
That's never really the sprinting function, which has never really been in Halo. But again, I also think they did a good job with that, where you can run, but if you do it, your shield won't revive until you stop, and for a while.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of complaints on the forums and whatnot, but I personally, I like it. I think I don't know, how do you feel about it, but I kind of like
Well,
it.
I agree. I completely agree. And like, there's always these little trade-offs and balancing that you need to accomplish, and I think they've done a superb job with that. From taking your classic Halo and melding it with what the majority of people out there, especially new players to the franchise, are going to be familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty is huge. You have probably far more Call of Duty players out there right now than you have Halo players. So if they want to to bring those people into the fold, even casually, you want to give them a control layout and functions and gameplay that they are going to, to meld with, I guess, to be comfortable with. And yeah, I think they've done a great job of melding those elements together to keep it moving forward, which I think they have to do, and they tried that with Halo 4. It kind of bit them in the ass, unfortunately. But,
Well, yeah, they veered too much from the formula with Halo 4. Just to the point where it pissed off the actual Halo people who've stuck with the franchise for so long. But now with people starting to get tired of Call of Duty, it's a good time to try to steal some of their clientele and their fan base. So to flirt that line between appeasing, trying to bring in new customers, and then keeping your old happy, I think what they've done is pretty good. And I'm excited to play more maps, which I think they're releasing weekly, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think we got 2 maps this week. I think there's 3 next week. I could be wrong, but there's at least 2 ones next week. They're changing the rotation, so this week is auto rifle starts, and then next week is BR starts, and I can't remember the third week. But yeah, I enjoyed it immensely, and and that's coming from a guy who hasn't really played a lot of Halo lately. So yeah, I think it's been really fun. Yeah, that BR is fantastic in my opinion. So.
Oh yeah, I like the BR and SMG combo. Have my short range and my long range. Yeah, that's good. Are the new maps replacing the ones that we have, or are they just getting added to the pool?
I think they're replacing, but I'm not 100% sure on that either. So, but even if they are replaced, they're going to be mixing it up a bit, which is good. So,
yeah. I know they released an update today on it, which I heard, I guess, was causing some issue with the matchmaking, with partying.
Yeah, I just read it. It was the update was to aid with matchmaking and aid in the selection of dedicated servers, which in paper sounds fantastic because, as you and I discovered the other night, we were having a hell of a time finding games.
Yeah,
even
a lot of forced quitting and going back into it and getting back in your party. It was a pain in the neck.
Oh yeah, and but I heard Sam was playing today, and he said that his party was getting split up on opposing teams, just like the Master Chief Collection was. So,
you think they would have figured out what was causing that back in the Master Chief Collection days and prevented that now?
You would sure think so, but matchmaking just seems to be just a total bane of their existence right now, and it is so surprising and at this point quite infuriating, really.
And it makes no sense. Halo 4 didn't have these issues when it launched.
Yeah, I never had an issue with Halo 4. Never. So, yeah, it's...
Well, they have a year to really work on it.
Now, this is true.
I can tolerate it during a beta, but...
Yeah, but at this point, you have to think that matchmaking has to be... that's just the bread and butter of any sort of game like this now. That would be like, that's step 1, getting players together to play the game. How can this still be not working 100% at this point? Especially when you look at all the way that, the Master Chief Collection was handled and bundled. It was,
Yeah, and they don't even have the excuse that they outsourced it like they did the Master Chief Collection. So really, what is their excuse this time? Come on, get it right. We've done it before. They've done it before. I don't know why. I don't know. It was frustrating, but when we got to play, it was a lot of fun. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was immensely fun. Yeah, so I can't wait to do some more, actually, because it was a lot of fun. And the 2 maps start to get a little repetitive, after a while. But so thankfully, we're getting some fresh blood in next week. So, but yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far.
And They're good maps. The remake of Midship is particularly fun. I don't know if you played Midship back in, oof, what was that, Halo 2?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of fun. Good
Yeah,
map.
it's a good map. I think I like the other one better myself, but both are both are really good. They're good. But yeah, I think I like Empire just a little bit more. I couldn't tell you why, but I seem to do a little better on it. I think so.
I also really like the feature they added when they call out when the special weapons are going to spawn. Because back in the day, you for the hardcore Halo players, so you had somebody with a timer, stopwatch timer, and you knew every 5 minutes rockets were going to be back. But now it's actually there, and it calls it out. Everybody knows. Yeah.
One thing I like too is the when you're playing, it actually tells you where you are, so to make it easier to call out. Okay, this is on Empire. There's red outside, there's blue outside, and you can be able to call out the different areas. Like I never really noticed that on any other Halo games before, so I can't speak to whether it's in others or not. But that is kind of a neat feature to help call out where you are and give a clear, concise where you are. So.
Yep, agree. I also like the commentary that they add, like when you nice headshot. Gives you a little pat on the back.
Yeah. Thanks for the assist. And
yeah.
I get a lot of those. So.
The one you don't like is watch the friendly fire.
Yeah. And watch your grenade spam. That one's kind of confuses me, because isn't that kind of just Halo, just tossing grenades, and hoping one connects? Am I wrong in that, or?
Well, yeah, but you can damage your allies. Friendly fire in Halo.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah. Well, I guess my go-to is still just chucking nades everywhere. So.
Yeah, Halo started the chucking of nades all over the place.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And I never did it in Call of Duty. I was a lot more tactical with my grenades in Call of Duty, but with Halo, I just seem to just throw one here, throw one over there.
It's more in your face.
No, yeah, especially when the blast radius on these grenades, especially in the beta, is like 10 miles, it seems. So, wish I had $1 for every time I just walked into a grenade and boom. But
yeah, I had to get used to using those grenades again, because especially the frag grenade's so bouncy. You got to really work with the physics of it to get it to where you think the guy is going to be instead of where he is at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a great competitive element to this, so, which is obviously what they were aiming for. So I gotta give them a pat on the back for that. But yeah, just as long as they get these matchmaking issues resolved, and the hardcore community is definitely complaining about the sprinting, and it seems to be less of the ADS. But we'll have to see how this compares to ultimately what ships in November, because
I wonder if that's a vocal minority complaining about it or the actual majority. I think.
I wonder.
Yeah. It's also only been out for less than a week, right?
Yeah, it just came out on Monday, so just a few days.
Yeah. Let's see, give it a couple weeks and see how people feel about it then.
Yeah.
And initially, the hardcore Halo fan base might be hurt by the sprinting, but they might come around to it. We'll see.
But then again, you have to think too that 343 has some of the best Halo players on the planet working for them.
Sure.
Quote unquote pro team. So these guys know they should know what they're talking about, and they definitely have a huge influence on what 343 does. So you have to think that if these guys are okay with it, maybe everyone else should be.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you're gonna make everybody happy. It brings me back to when Halo 2 came out, and they had the dual wield for the first time. Everybody was up in arms about it and hated it, and everybody was complaining this is not Halo, yada yada yada. It's the same kind of thing, The some mechanics are going to change. Sometimes they're for the better. Most of the times they are.
Yeah.
Just not going to please everybody.
Yeah, well, that's true, and it brings up the point of like, who do you make a game for these days? Do you make them for your hardcore crowd, or do you make it for everybody? And I think last time they tried to make it for everybody, at least in Halo 4. But if they keep on this mindset that they're on right now, I think me personally, I think they're on a good track. But
I agree. I'm excited for it.
Well, it's as long as they don't do any big knee-jerk reactions, I think we'll be okay. But we still got almost a year for them to work out all the kinks and all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see.
We shall see.
Yeah. Just to go back to Master Chief Collection here real quick. Since our last podcast, we had some word of what the freebies that we're going to be getting from 343 are, and we're getting an upgraded 1080p 60 frames a second version of Halo 3 ODST sometime this year now as well, which is, I think that's pretty good.
I like it. That's the one I haven't actually played. I skipped ODST. I was heavy into Call of Duty at that point. So I'm excited to go back and play that campaign. Did they have a release date for that?
Nothing yet. So they said sometime in 2015. So we'll just have to see. Probably, I would think this summer, but who knows? They're gonna have to see how it conflicts with the release of Halo 5, which is definitely going to be their primary focus. So, but I don't know what it takes to upscale a game like that to the resolution and all that. So
they'll probably outsource it to the same studios who did the Master Chief Collection. Then they'll destroy it, and it'll be a month after that till when it actually starts working. So we shall see.
Yeah. We got to think. It's just a campaign. At least from my understanding, it is. So I think a lot of the issues that plagued the Master Chief Collection, it won't be an issue, and especially seeing as the MTC seems to be working fairly good now, as it is, with the updates that they've sent out in the last few weeks. So, but yeah, we'll have to see. So, we are getting another remastered Halo 2 map for Anniversary. It's getting anniversary treatment. I think it's Relic. I think it's Relic. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's Relic.
Good map.
So that's good. The full remaster treatment, and that'll obviously get added to the playlist when it is ready as well. So again, sometime this year, release dates. So, and we're getting some unique, player cards, emblems, that kind of stuff, and that'll be coming in the next, I think next couple of weeks, I would think. But they're making it right, as they said. So if that's enough, you would sure hope it would be. But
getting the ODST campaign, that's a lot. In my book.
So all I need now is reach, and I'll be happy. So
yeah, I think we'll have to wait a while for that.
Probably, but there's hope now. So I think that's the important thing to take away from it.
That's true.
Because you got to think, games like Reach, and I guess to a slightly lesser extent ODST, they're already more or less HD compatible at this stage. So there's not a lot that they have to do to them to get them to the same level that is maybe compatible with Xbox One.
Yeah, I agree. The later the game was made originally, the easier I assume it would be to transfer over. It would be my assumption. I don't know, but
Well, I would assume that too. And considering how, even from Halo 3 to, I didn't play ODST either, and I did play Reach, and the graphical difference between 3 and Reach is just night and day. Reach is much prettier.
Oh yeah.
Than 3 was, and of course, 4 was just, that really pushed the 360 to its limits graphically. So
yeah, I think 4 was one of the prettiest games on the 360. Best looking ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, so we have that to look forward to this year. So definitely.
No set release date on that?
No, they didn't say anything yet. So I imagine, like, I would think summer probably, but who knows at this point? It's got to be. It has to be before November when 5 comes out.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's pretty much a given. But again, we haven't received full, or have we now? Because the Halo 5 editions have been announced. I'm gonna pull up my info here. There's going to be 3 editions.
They haven't given an actual release date though for the game, right?
I don't think so. I have to look again here, but yeah, they have announced the edition. So you basically have your standard edition, your standard $60, and that's just the game.
Yep.
Your limited edition, that's $100, and that's going to include some digital content and a fancy, steelbook casing for the disc and all that.
All the DLCs and whatnot.
Probably yes. And then the limited collector's edition, that's $250. So that includes everything from the limited, plus some more stuff, and you get a numbered statue with that as well, which they haven't identified yet either.
Yeah, it's too rich for my blood, but sounds cool.
Yeah, the limited edition, that might be worthwhile, but
yeah, if it includes a season pass, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, I'd agree.
More details are released.
Yeah, like I got the limited edition for Halo 4 that had the DLC and all that kind of stuff too. So that was a pretty good buy in the end for an extra $40. But yeah, time will tell whether it's going to be worthwhile. From the first impressions from the beta here, it looks like it's going to be good. So.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does, and I'm excited to play the campaign again. Dive back into that.
Yeah. But they definitely are working a lot more on story, it seems. Master Chief's AWOL, so gotta go get him, apparently.
Yeah, I guess. He loses Cortana and he just goes mental. I don't know.
So wouldn't you too? But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Locke plays into all this, because after finishing Nightfall up, I kind of have my doubts about that character, but
I still have to catch up on the Nightfall, but Locke made a appearance in there.
Well, Locke is the main character in Nightfall there. So somewhere between the end of Nightfall and the beginning of Halo 5, he goes into the Spartan program and does all that. So I guess my interest has mainly been piqued on how he gets to that point, what makes him do that. So, and Nightfall didn't really give a lot of the answers to that, at least. But
yeah, I heard it wasn't great, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me. They're not known for making television shows.
well, that's true, but ultimately, I had higher hopes for this, and I actually did enjoy Forward Unto Dawn. And after finishing Nightfall, I would kind of rate Forward Unto Dawn higher than Nightfall, to be honest, even though it had a much larger budget. And most times you actually couldn't tell. For the amount of money that they supposedly sank into Nightfall, it just didn't seem to have that same polish or something. I don't know. It didn't wow me in the end, which is kind of unfortunate. But maybe I just had too high of expectations.
Yeah, I can't really comment on it. I think I've seen 1 or 2 episodes of it, and it didn't impress me enough to want to rush through the other ones.
Yeah, so that seems to be more or less the consensus of what I've heard online. So, as with anything, there's people that are going to like it, and there's people that's going to hate it, and as long as you can fit somewhere in the middle there, for the people that have no opinion either way. I guess I guess that can be considered a win, but
I don't know. That's pretty. Those are low expectations, Mike.
not true.
You got to go for the slam dunk, and it wasn't.
No, it might have been to some people.
So by the rim.
Yeah, to each their own.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up all my Halo news here. So I think just one final thing to touch on here. Call of Duty had a couple clan wars between from when we last since we were last on the air, and we finished number one in our bracket again. So congrats to everyone who played in those two clan wars, the main one and then the bonus Christmas one. Just a few days ago, so we got number one for both of those. So congrats to everybody who played that. For sure.
Good work, guys.
Absolutely, yeah, we're taking names, it seems.
Yeah, apparently. From what I hear, it was a pretty decisive win too.
Yeah, we're definitely. Yeah, the first, the big one, the main one, was a little touch and go there for a while. Nick was saying, but they rallied and they beat them again quite handily in the end. So,
yep.
Hat off to them.
Yeah.
And with that, I think that pretty much will wrap things up for this week. Just kind of a little slow over the Christmas break here. So.
Yeah, no really anything on the Destiny side. No news.
Yeah, nothing really. So.
Bungie's on break, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I imagine most of these people would be. So.
Yeah.
Except for all those ones that got called in over Christmas to try and fix the network, I guess. But
that was on the Xbox and PlayStation side. I think Bungie was like, finally, it's not at us. People aren't mad at us. Or 343 it was like, it's not our fault.
Can't give the studios a break here. What the heck?
No. But.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think with that, we will sign off for the week here. Happy New Year again to everyone. And we'll be back next week with hopefully a few more bodies in here.
Yeah.
We held down the house.
Yeah, we did. Happy New Year's, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Catch you next week. Can't speak. Later, everybody.